All right, I think we are live. Let's wait for the audio to wait. Where's the audio? Let me open YouTube to see that we have good audio. Give me a couple of seconds. Yeah, we have good audio. We're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm only now getting started. I thought I set up a link, but I guess I didn't. So let me give you the link. So if you want to join, you can join. Pin. Let's share my Discord and start looking for people to debate. Share my Discord. Share. Well, that's my Discord. And let's go take the link to my topic. I don't know if you can hear in the background my dryer is running. There's something making a lot of noise inside the dryer. All right, I copied that. Let's go back to Discord and start looking for people to debate us. So here's the link. Anyone up for a live? No. For a debate. That's it. Let's start by. Let's see if anybody's here. No one. Oh, someone is watching, but is it me or is it someone else? Let's go and let's go directly to the vegan server and see if there's anyone. There's plenty of people interested. Let's try and do this.
The worst thing he was gonna do was like I thought he was just gonna like invade Poland that way. I didn't know about the other stuff. I swear.
What the fuck?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Hey.
I just told him that would be pretty.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm looking to debate anyone. Is anyone interested?
No, bro.
Yeah, Dora wants to debate you.
Dora?
On cannibalism.
Dora, you want to debate cannibalism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Where originates from?
Let's start a debate. Why is your name Mr. Slave 41?
A lot of the internet's been fucking.
I'm a slave.
A lot of shit's been wiped.
I thought they said everything on the internet's forever. How could it get wiped?
No.
Are you serious?
Everything on the internet.
There's no blogs anymore. There's nothing.
Anyway, so who? So
Yeah,
well, there's no blogs because they haven't been updated.
Wait,
right?
Dora, you want to debate?
No one's ever gonna find us.
But what?
Yeah, the only thing that's forever.
I posted a list of topics.
Did anyone click on the link? It's got babes. The whole site is babes.
Can we discuss?
Yeah, it's a bit too
which babe is hotter?
It's babes in bikinis. No, it's nothing to write home about.
No, it's fine.
It's a little sexual, at least for me. I'm quite prudish.
These are very, very old pictures. It's like royalty-free pictures.
For like 3 days.
I don't think any of the girls is actually attractive.
What? Why have them at all?
What is going on?
Just like art.
Why nudity?
I view women as art, basically.
Art.
Okay. Whoa. You want to restate that?
Women are.
You want to phrase that better?
Wait, what?
Do you want to try to phrase that better?
Actually, I want to debate you on number 5.
All right, number
5 is cockfights are preferable to killing newborn male chicks. I disagree with this because if you didn't kill newborn male chicks, then instead you sent them all to cockfights, then you wouldn't have any chicken nuggets, and that'd be
that's not true. That's not.
That would be your definition of suboptimal, as in definition 4. That if we compare 2 identical universes, one that takes all of the baby chicks and raises them for cockfights, and one that doesn't, then the first one would be suboptimal because there would be less happy people because there wouldn't be as many chicken nuggets.
Wait, I wasn't listening because the first guy said something. If I want to rephrase that, I view women as art.
Yeah, that's pretty objectifying. But we can talk about that in a minute. I'll be right back.
Oh,
I'll use my
okay.
leprechaun
Women.
to make him. I'm gonna use my
Well,
leprechaun.
there's like women are more than art. Like women, you can say like a component, like their beauty is artistic, I guess.
Bro,
So
I'm
it's like
literally
they're
gonna,
more.
bro, I'm
No, they're
literally
just
gonna
art.
use. I'm gonna use my leprechaun magic, and I'm
This
literally
is
gonna.
reminding me of when I hear other women say, sex work is female empowerment. I'm like, dude, you're tripping balls.
Well, it's like if I look at like the statue of David, that's art because that's just it's a good looking guy.
Who's the statue of
Ooh.
David? Who's David? What does he do?
Can I be the
Yeah, but
women
that's
the same way?
artistic because of its like. I think it's artistic because of its its difficulty level. You know,
Like,
I think it's
the
artistic because the
skill
guy
it would
looks.
take to do something like that. I mean, it could be anything
Yeah.
besides a
But
naked
you
person.
can view
Or like
you can view natural beauty, right? You can look at the sky and say, "Wow, it's beautiful." You can look at mountains, "Wow, it's beautiful."
me.
You can look at a lion,
but I
"Wow,
don't
it's
want to bang the
beautiful." You can
sky.
look at anything and say,
I
"Wow, it's
do.
beautiful." And you can look at a woman and say, "Wow,
Yeah.
she's beautiful."
The only thing,
Just the
the only thing we
same.
can't say.
yeah, the
You
problem
can look
does
at a
come into
guy
play
and say,
Yeah,
like,
and that's
"Wow,
cool.
he's
Calling someone
beautiful."
beautiful, but
But we can't look at you and say you're beautiful because that's just way beyond the universe.
Bro.
That's
oh my
way beyond.
I
gosh.
hope
Okay,
you
so
don't think I'm beautiful because I'm actually grotesque. I
here's the
am
question: what is the
thoroughly
definition of art that
grotesque.
we're operating under?
What's the
What's the
definition of
definition?
art?
Yes,
The picture I painted in when I was 5.
because if we talk about art as beauty, then yeah, I mean any person can be artistic.
I mean, nature can create
Piss,
art,
Piss Christ was art.
right? Nature.
Piss Christ.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was terrible.
anyway.
Also,
You think Greta Thunberg is an international terrorist?
Yes, I
What do you think?
definitely.
What do you think
Or
of
that
international? What does it mean to be a terrorist?
If you
Me.
terrorize, then you're a terrorist. It's that
What does it
simple.
mean to
Whoa.
terrorize?
Terrorize
You're
means to
terrorizing us right
sow.
now.
I'm also
You're
I'm a known
terrorist.
terrorist. My name is
Well, what does it mean
Morpheus.
to? What does it mean to terrorize?
I mean, look at the quotes that she has there.
Terror.
Wait, let me just bring up the Greta. You have to pronounce her name correctly. Her name is Greta. Greta. So 1 second.
Yes, so Greta
Greta.
Thunberg.
No, it's not Greta. It's Greta.
Greta.
Hey, we're in
Greta.
America, buddy. It's Greta.
Well, she
These Americans, I
identifies as
swear.
Greta. Greta Thunberg.
Greta.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're paying so much. I
Thunberg.
don't know why you're giving so much credence to an international terrorist. Like, it shouldn't really matter how you pronounce her name, right?
No, I actually I respect her as a human. I don't take her human rights away, and part of her human rights is how she identifies. She identifies as Greta, Greta Thunberg.
Greta.
So I give it,
Okay.
I give her all the respect.
All right, so GT. I'm gonna abbreviate it then.
No.
So
all right,
And
yeah.
GT.
I brought up.
So
I brought up.
wait,
the-
Mr. Slave. Mr. Slave. What
yes.
does it mean to terrorize? What does that mean?
To sow terror in the hearts of people in order to with
What does
intent.
it mean to sow terror? You're like using the same. I ask you, what does it mean to be a terrorist? And you're like, to terrorize. What does it mean to terrorize? To sow terror. You're not really answering my question. You're just using like self-referential like definitions.
Well, English is like all systems self-referential, but fine.
No.
Yes. You name a system that's not self-referential, but okay, that's a different story. We'll come back to that. But English is self-referential, right? I mean, a dictionary is self-referential. At the end, every word comes back to a circle.
Okay. When I say self-referential, I don't mean like eventually if you go through like all the words in the English language, you'll come back to the same word.
No problem.
I'm saying like
I'll-
you're using the same word in your
I agree.
definition.
Yeah, okay, I agree. So, look, her purpose, her intent is to get her mission accomplished. She believes in a mission, she wants to get it accomplished, and she is trying to convince politicians to take actions as per her beliefs. and the way she tries to convince them is not by logic, but using very strong words like betrayal. Like let's bring up let's review. Right, I just took a bunch of quotes from her speech. I just watched her speech. So my message is that we'll be watching you. So right, so I mean, if you're a politician and you hear someone saying this, right, this is, I mean, yeah, you got to take it seriously. Then you would be evil. She refers to them as evil, and that I refuse to. But then she takes it. She backpedals that I refuse to believe. But the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. She's calling general international politicians who don't take her belief seriously and take actions as per her belief a betrayal.
Yeah, so saying that politicians are betraying the interests of their constituency isn't terrorism.
Sounds spoken like a true terrorist.
Like
Yeah, I would
every
say then
if
what is terrorism? If these words, if you would
terrorism would be an act of violence that is meant to sow distrust in either the government's ability to handle that said
wait,
terrorist
could you slow
or
down? Could
the
you wait?
legitimacy of the government
Wait,
itself.
slow down. So you said
That's a
it's
good
action.
definition, actually.
Yeah, I would say
Slow
terrorism
down.
is action.
Is action. So if a person like Bin Laden, did he take any action?
Yeah, he
Really?
organized a group of people to
Organized. That's
go
is. Oh, so wait. So
he organized
is
a
that
group of people to go fly planes into the Twin Towers. I would consider that terrorism, yeah.
well? But he only organized. He only talked to people. He didn't do the thing, right? So you could say it's not action. It's just speech.
It is action. Coordination is part of action.
But it's just.
Management is part of action.
But he was just speaking, right? He was just speaking, and I'm not even
And
sure that he
coordinating.
was. I'm not even sure that he was the coordinator. I think he was not even
He's the leader of
exactly as she is exactly. So Bin Laden is to whatever as Greta Thunberg is to global warming. Exactly.
global
She's just
warming is not an organization.
Bin Laden.
It's
Greta Thunberg is the Osama bin Laden of global warming.
I never thought
Osama-
about it like that.
Wasn't Osama like the heavyweight champion of like hide and seek until like 2001, 2011 or something?
I don't know.
So
Yes.
okay, can we mute Irish? Someone had
So
the right
which one
idea
of you
earlier.
like cannibalism?
So again, like thank you. Again, like what is Greta even coordinating? Because like if you're saying that Osama bin Laden isn't a terrorist because he only coordinated people to fly planes into buildings, then surely Greta is like even less of a terrorist than that, right? Like, does terrorism mean anything?
No, I meant to say the inverse. I meant to say that both Osama bin Laden and Greta Thunberg are both as much terrorists. I don't see the distinction. They're both leaders of movements that, in the case of Osama bin Laden, ended up with thousands dead. And in the case of Greta Thunberg, I would say many more, but fine. I mean, you don't.
Wait,
How
what?
many deaths is Greta Thunberg either directly or indirectly responsible for?
I
We'll
mean,
never know.
because
She can't keep getting away with this.
right, because her actions are implicit, her threats are implicit, and politicians do as she says and change policies, and people freeze to death. No one is counting those dead as as caused by Greta. She
Okay,
is
so which countries have changed their policies that resulted in like so you're saying that like that there's this given number of countries that have scaled back their fossil fuel production, and because they did that they didn't have enough power and then people froze to death.
exactly.
Okay, so which countries changed their policies?
That led to people freezing to death.
Yeah, the one where all the people froze to death, Neon. Come on.
I mean, the very fact that during the winter you had rising. I mean, every winter people die of the cold all over the world. And the very fact that this past winter the energy prices spiked, that is due, I would
Wait,
say,
why did it spike?
Greta Thunberg.
because
He was behind it all.
because Joe Biden came into office and implemented Greta Thunberg's philosophy based on his voter base.
You do realize that we just approved the Willow project, right?
Yes.
Oh well, I can debate you on that later, Neon. If
Do you
you
know
want.
what? Do you
But
know what
that's
that
besides the
is?
point.
But you realize that the winter is already past, right? So in the dead of winter, people were freezing, and Joe Biden
Well,
saw
yeah,
that.
like in Texas, for example, like I was going through this a few years ago, like in 2021 of February, the Great Texas Freeze, when like 1,000 people died because they either lacked oxygen because they couldn't properly supply their ventilators with electricity, or get to the place where it supplied their oxygen, or they froze to death, or they set their houses on fire because they tried to burn stuff on the inside of their houses. Like all of those things happened, and all of those led to a combination of like 1,000 or so deaths. And it's
All right.
hard to know exactly how many people it happened to because it's hard to get a count on that. But
Fine. It's
that
many.
wasn't because of Greta Thunberg's policies. That was because Texas refused to winterize their grid, and we had the coldest winter that we had in 40 years because of that.
Wait,
Right?
sorry,
And that's
Neon.
because
Just
of
to add,
global warming.
Neon, just to add some context to that, they did weatherize, but there is an exception in the bill that said that if you were natural or liquefied gas, you were exempt from doing that, which, surprise, surprise, is like 80% or like 75% of Texas. So, yeah, they did weatherize, but just nothing.
So I would claim that you could trace all these policies to the global warming agenda. All these changes, and at the end, all these deaths to the global warming hysteria that Greta Thunberg is leading.
Well, dude, like, so is Greta Thunberg a terrorist because she's promoting like policy responses to global warming, or is Greta
Using
Thunberg a
threats.
terrorist
Look at the
because
words. She's
she's not
threatening.
using threats?
Well,
We'll be
let's
watching
finish.
you.
Yes, that's a threat. Let's
No, it's
continue.
not.
Yes, it is. Let's continue reading.
Saying that you're going to be watching a politician when they're legally obligated to release publicly accessible information, that's not a threat.
Yes, it
That's
is.
saying,
Let's
hey,
continue.
I'm going to be in it. So is it a
Let's
threat
agree
to
to
say I'm
disagree.
going to become?
Let's
No,
agree
no,
to
no. This is not.
disagree.
This is not an agree to disagree thing. This
Yes.
is your entire claim is contingent on whether or not we'll be watching you is a threat. If I say that I'm going to be watching my politician and what they institute, is that a threat?
Yes. Let's continue. So, but
Why?
let's
why?
continue. Let's continue reading. Let's continue reading. But
Wait, no. Why is the phrase "will be watching you" a threat? This was your first point on your thing.
No, I'm reading the entire her. Right, I took her entire speech and I took out a bunch of sentences, which I, if I were a politician, this would, I would think twice and three times, and this would influence my behavior. If I would think to not heed her warnings, it would be, I would be taking a chance. I'm not saying that I would be executed the next day, but it's a politician, needs to be a politician. He needs
Okay,
to.
so you're saying that a politician, by reading into this, which it's already a huge stretch to say, we'll be watching you, and also if you don't do the things that we're asking you to do, we're going to execute the next day. That whole second part was left out, right? You're just making the jump from point A to point B there, right? But like your definition of international terrorist at this point is completely incoherent, right? Like, is Trump saying that he'll drain the swamp a threat to those politicians?
Of
Like, is that a
course.
threat?
I mean, it's
Okay, so is Trump an international terrorist?
no. I mean,
Why not?
That's a good
I don't see a
question.
distinction. Actually, I actually see more of a
Name the
distinction
trait.
between
Yeah.
Trump and Greta.
Name the
Why,
trait.
why is Trump not an international terrorist, but Greta is? Trump actually threatened politicians' jobs, and he was in the capacity to do so.
Yeah, I guess we could debate that next. But for now, let's continue. So, but
Well, wait. Why is Trump not an international terrorist, but Greta is?
I mean, I need to think about it. You bring up a good point. We can, let me come back to you. But for now,
Okay.
let's continue reading. Because I think like if you read these words, some of the words are very, very sharp. So she says, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. That's pretty powerful. That's nothing to, yeah, you got to think about that. Now, look,
Can,
yeah, but let me be, I'll let you, but let me just, because he asked a good question. Look, at the end of the day, it's not only a politician's afraid to be executed the next day. A politician has to think about his career, and she's threatening the politician's career. She's making threats that she is terrorizing the politicians. The politicians now are afraid. Like, if I don't do what she says, I'm gonna be voted out. So you're saying that Bin Laden is different because Bin Laden threatened actual murder, and she didn't.
No, Trump.
No,
Well,
Trump
Bin
didn't.
Laden coordinated efforts to murder people. Trump
Right.
actually meaningfully had the ability to threaten people's jobs.
Right.
Greta just said a thing on the stage.
Right. Look, terrorism doesn't. If you terrorize people but don't execute anyone, if you just terrorize people, you just make threats. You just make hints. Like the mafia. They say, it's a shame you have a nice business going on. It's a shame if something would happen to it, but there's no threat. Right? There's no threat. A lot of the mafia
Yeah, but she
techniques.
didn't say anything like that. She said,
She did.
we will never forgive you insofar as like history will look back at these politicians who refuse to do anything about climate change.
You know what?
Let's
Let's continue.
upon them
Fine.
disfavorably.
Look.
wait, no. I would just
Yes.
Mr.
Right.
Slave,
Yes.
if I could,
Yeah.
just on that point of we will be watching you. I'm pretty sure that she's speaking from the position of like the young people of like the world, right? And I think that's a okay thing to say, that the young people of the world will be watching our politicians to see what they're doing if they care about our future. I mean, if unless you have a problem with like democracy, right? With people voting out politicians that don't do what they want. Unless you think that's terrorism.
Look, you bring up a good point. You all bring up a good point. It's obviously all very nuanced. So let's finish reading all her comments, and then we can bake a cake out of it somehow. My intuition is that she's a terrorist because she sows terror in the hearts of politicians. Now, you could say, yeah, Trump did too. That's true. So we'll have to figure. It's my job to figure out the difference. But let's for now continue reading. So she goes on. If you choose to fail us, I say, we will never forgive you. That's pretty harsh. We will not let you get away with this. That's very harsh. That's very harsh. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. This is very harsh language. Change
Is
is
Greta Thunberg a vegan?
Yes, but except she wore a wool once, like to like promote quote unquote
Guys,
sustainable.
let's continue with.
yeah. So she says change is coming whether you like it or not. This is very interesting because
Okay.
this is like I don't know if she means against democracy, maybe even, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, look, if I were a
Well, no, it
politician,
does matter.
It matters a
don't
little bit
know.
if she's for or against democracy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think she. I mean, you could say that this is against democracy, but she might.
How?
No, you could say
Like,
like whether
yeah, and how?
like she says, I don't care if you, right, because you're all democratically elected. I mean, she's talking. A lot of the UN are democratic countries. Whether you like it or not, meaning it doesn't matter what the people vote. But look, I'm not saying
So
that's what she means. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it could be. A lot of leftists, they don't like democracy, in my experience, and so she might be one of
That's
those.
absolutely wrong. Like we love democracy so much that we want to implement it in our workplaces, not just our government. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Also, like, where is the use of violence by Greta? Like, I don't see any like incitement of violence or any like actual use of violence.
I did, it's not. As I said, it's nuanced. You could infer it. I mean,
It's
look.
not.
Wait.
If it's
It's not-
nuanced, then why
well,
would
how-
you
have
jump for
violence?
being an international
Wait.
terrorist?
Yeah.
Wait,
if she's
wait.
not using or inciting violence, then it's not terrorism. It's not nuance.
Wait, one second. Look, first of all, I don't think you need to incite violence in order to achieve the definition of terrorism. Look, the point of
You do. That is the definition of terrorism. It was
That's the
posted in the
definition
chat,
of
actually.
terrorism.
All right. I mean,
If you want to call it something else, like, I don't know, stochastic terrorism, I don't know.
Economic violence counts.
Rhetorical terrorism.
Look,
I like that.
Yeah, rhetorical terrorism. But then in like a democracy, then that's not doesn't have as much punch as like, yo, you're a terrorist,
You're a rhetorical terrorist.
look, at the end of the day, she is trying to terrorize politicians. That is what she's trying to accomplish. Now, you could say that everything she's saying is within legal bounds, but you could also see how, let's say, for example, a crazy person, like a far left Antifa, can do things in accordance with her wishes.
I'm curious about.
Mhm.
Like, what's your deal?
Are not part of like these climate movements. They do anti-fascism, right? That's the point of the name.
He's like conflating all systems that he disagrees with as like one big cahoots system.
It doesn't. I didn't mean to say anything specifically about Antifa. I'm just saying it. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you guys would be sensitive to that specific group. So I'll take
It
it
just
back.
doesn't make sense.
I'll take it
We're
back.
not sensitive to it, it doesn't make sense.
I retract. It could be a crazy person who believes in global warming and thinks Greta is the greatest saint since beginning of time, and he might do something after listening to this. These are very motivating words. I mean, you could see how emotional she was when she gave the speech. Very emotional. So she can like if you have. So I think this comes maybe with autism, because I've seen someone is echoing terribly. Maybe everybody should mute their mic.
I got it.
Thanks. So I saw once another autistic guy, and he was speaking just like her. So maybe it has to do with autism, because she said I think she's autistic. So they become very emotional over like silly things, like super emotional.
Yes,
Anyway,
so emotional over the end of the world. So
Wait, I
silly.
just want to go back to it seems as you're
Let me
kind of
just
going on a
finish.
tangent
No,
now about
let me
autism.
just finish.
Yeah,
Wait, let me
I
finish.
know, but it's a tangent about autism. But you
No.
were saying that
No.
her words can lead someone to
No.
do something, but you
No.
never said
No,
exactly
no.
what they would do. And from my understanding, it seems that you're jumping to it seems that you're
Hey, let me
jumping
speak.
to the conclusion that her
Wait.
calls are a call towards some type of action, right?
Let me speak. Why don't you
Yeah,
let me speak?
I'm asking you a question.
But
You're
I didn't
going
finish
on a
the
rant about
previous
autism,
one.
bro. You're going on a rant about autism.
Yeah, I'm going on a
Answer the
rant.
question. What do you think her
No,
call
let me
to action
finish.
was?
Hey, why don't you let me finish? That's not fair.
Mr. Slave, the debate has changed a bit here. It's not about autism right now. We're talking about Greta Thunberg. Or Greta, right? So what do you
Hey.
think her call to action was a call to do?
All right, not autistic. You saw how emotional Greta, the not autistic person, was.
Right, in her emotion, what do you think she was calling people
Listen,
to do, Mr.
wait a
Slave?
minute. Let me finish.
What
let
is
me
it?
finish.
What is your understanding that she was calling
wait,
people to do?
Are you not
Mr.
letting me
Slave.
speak? Wait, are you not letting me speak freely? This is not
You're free to speak.
So let me-
However,
let
you
me
should probably answer the question because this is an
I'll
irrelevant
gladly,
tangent.
I'll gladly answer every question, but let me just finish the point. So you could have, you saw how emotional she was. Now, she was 17.
Shut the fuck up.
Now imagine you have,
That was aggressive.
so right, you have millions of people. Actually, you have billions of people. Out of the billions, you only need one to be as emotional as she is, and actually take action. So she's motivating people. At the extreme, you could get
A lot of people are
violence.
taking action.
Excuse me. Anyway, at the
A lot
extreme,
of people are taking action, dude.
right? But
I
violence.
don't.
She was very
This is
emotional.
such a-
Yeah,
So
they
what was the
clearly
point?
not, because
No, B,
that
hold on,
movement
hold on,
isn't a
B, hold
violent
on, B.
movement.
B, hold
Like,
on.
you have
Mr. Slave,
other-
what was the point? What was the point of saying that she's autistic and that another autistic person may hear it and take action? So, arguably, there's a bunch of autistic people in here who are taking action. So what?
No. The point is that I rolled back my. I'll retract my comment about autism. I don't mind autism. That's not the issue. I'm saying she was very emotional. You could get people like her
Okay.
who are also violent, and you could emotionally trigger.
Do you have
these-
evidence of that? Do you have evidence of that happening?
No, I'm saying it could. You could see it happening, right?
Okay.
She was very emotional, but she didn't take physical action. But you could see how.
Listen, I'll agree with you, but only once there starts to become these violent terrorists that are being violent on behalf of Greta Thunberg.
Wait,
right?
why do you need to wait?
That's
Why
that's
can't
why
you-
everyone thinks you're taking 10 steps too far before you've taken your first step. You're just going about this in a very silly way.
Look,
You seem
Well,
to
no,
want to
'cause-
frame this in a certain light.
We'll know because they'll be shouting in the name of Greta whenever they, do their terrorism.
Greta Thunberg, blow up the building. Like,
I mean, you don't have to wait for it to happen in order for me to, in order to agree.
you kind of do, because it has to be a call to violence, and it just seems like a normal call to action. Now, you're right that the action is I can't believe I'm getting this motive. I'd never get this motive. But, like, the call to action doesn't seem to be violent in any way, shape, or form. You're assuming all of these things
look at the
for
words.
ulterior reasons, I'm going to suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be watching you. She's speaking about a younger generation of
did you-
people. Yeah,
wait,
that have had their
wait,
eye
Wait, did
on
you just
politics and have
wait?
had their eye.
Wait, did
Yes.
you just insinuate that I have ulterior motives?
Yeah, because you already.
Wait,
I think one of your other points is.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Whoa! Are you
no.
not letting me speak,
That's
Mr.
ad
Slave? Did you just
hominem.
ask me a question, Mr. Slave? Did you
that's
just
ad
ask me a question,
hominem.
Mr. Slave? If
That's
you
ad
ask me a question, you
hominem.
have to let me answer,
That's a
Mr. Slave. If you
logical
let me, if you
fallacy.
could just let Mr. Slave, Senor Slave, if you just let me, Mr. 41.
That's a
So
logical
yeah,
fallacy.
I do think you have I do think
That's
you
a
do have
logical
ulterior motives.
That's ad hominem logical
Mr. Slave,
fallacy.
please, you're cutting me off. I thought I had freedom of speech. I allowed you to finish your rant.
Please
Mr.
don't,
Slave,
please don't
I
commit
do believe.
logical fallacies. Don't ad hominem. Don't
Sure,
reference me.
Mr. Slave.
Wait,
Mr.
did
Slave,
you say
it
that I
seemed
have
to me.
ulterior motives?
Excuse me, Mr. Slave. I believe it's my turn to speak now.
I'm asking you about the comment you made. Did you say I have
Yeah,
ulterior
and I'm
motives?
answering you, but you keep trying to cut me off
Yes
because
or
I think
no?
you're scared of where I'm
Wait,
going to lead you down this path, and that's okay. You can be scared.
That's ad
That's all right.
hominem.
You don't have to be scared. Hold my hand.
You
We'll
are
walk down this path together.
personally
It's okay.
referencing your interlocutor. That's a logical fallacy. I beg you to.
Yo, I'm just gonna yeah, I do think you have an
Are you
ulterior
going
motive
to
because in one
retract
of your
your
other
ad
prompts,
hominem logical fallacy?
you've already said,
Are you
Mr.
going
Slave,
to
I
retract
understand
your
you're
ad
scared.
hominem
Mr. Slave,
logical
I get it. You
fallacy?
are scared.
Well, it's
Mr.
a
Slave,
logical
I
fallacy.
understand.
You're committing a
Mr.
logical
Slave,
fallacy.
and I
Does
accept that I
anybody?
am, and so I'm going to explain myself in this moment.
Well, if you're
Mr.
committing a
Slave, it
logical
seems that your
fallacy, it
ulterior
means you don't
Mr.
have logic.
Slave,
So
Mr. Slave,
so
it
you
seems that your
abandon
ulterior
logic.
motive is
Wait,
that
so
you
you
don't
agree
believe
that
that
you
global
abandon
warming
logic?
exists. And it seems that because you don't think that it exists, you think it's some type of a conspiracy that Greta Thunberg is calling everyone to arms about. It just seems like you already have your ducks in a row before you've put the dominoes down, so to speak. It's just very strange to me.
All right. So you agree that you just committed a logical fallacy? Yes or no?
Sure, if that makes you happy, but do you understand what
Why
I'm
do you
saying is that
wait?
you
Wait,
already have your dominoes set up.
you're repeating yourself.
Yeah, and so are you, buddy. But I'm just asking, do you agree that you already have like an understanding that you think that
Ad
what
hominem.
she's
I'm
advocating
not
for is
going
bad,
to
right?
reply
Or
to
unless I'm
ad
wrong.
hominem. I'm not going to reply to ad hominem. I am not the subject of
Wait,
this.
wait. So do you
It's
do you
not
think
an
that
ad
what she's
hominem, by the way.
advocating for
It's
is
not
good?
an ad hominem. Wait a minute. He's saying that I have ulterior motives, and you're saying it's not an ad hominem. He's not referencing.
Yeah,
the
because to
person?
be an ad hom, he would have to say you're wrong because you have ulterior motives. That's not what he said. He just said he thinks that you have ulterior motives, and he's trying to explain it.
That's still ad hominem. He's
No, it's
referencing
not.
the interlocutor.
It's actually not an ad hominem.
He's
Even
referencing the
referencing
interlocutor.
Well, that's fine. I already accepted.
Doing so doesn't create an ad hominem necessarily.
That's fine. I already accepted that I ad hominem him. That's fine. I will take my stripes.
So do you agree that ad hominem is a logical fallacy?
Yeah, I definitely agree that an ad hominem is a logical fallacy.
Are you committing a logical fallacy?
Sure, if that helps, like get this conversation off of this really pathetic like footing,
Wait a
sure.
minute. All right. So if you're committing a logical fallacy, do you agree that you have run out of logic? That's why you are going off logic?
No, baby, my logic has just started. Don't worry.
Wait a minute.
I'm trying to use your worldview that you've provided. No,
Wait, but why
I
you're
have.
refusing
I'm
to
trying to use.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not. Whoa, easy there, Chief.
Wait,
I'm not
it's
trying
a
to
yes or no
refuse
question.
the question.
It's a yes or
Well,
no
the answer is probably.
Wait a minute. I need to know yes or no. Wait, if
No.
Did you
No, you don't get a minute, Mr. Slave. We don't have time to wait a whole minute, a whole 60 seconds for you.
Okay.
We don't have that kind of time.
When you could
All I was doing was using your worldview. Hold on, really quick. All I was doing was using your worldview, which you've established or seem to have laid out in your propositions, and just seeing them. I don't think I'm taking anything out of context or being rude or ad homineming you in any type of way that you would find disrespectful. I just want to get this conversation going. But it seems that you would rather talk about me doing a ad hominid.
Okay, let's pretend. I'll entertain you. So look, let's pretend I'm a lawyer representing my client, and my client has.
And is your client Greta Thunberg? Because
No.
if not, then I don't want to hear about where this is going
No,
because it's irrelevant.
My client is the one accusing Greta Thunberg. I'm just a lawyer. Now you happen to have noticed that
So what's the accusation?
No,
Could you tell me the accusation?
I'm explaining to you why why it doesn't make any sense to reference anything about me. So you're claiming that I am the lawyer, and as the lawyer representing my client who claims Greta is an international terrorist, well, but as the lawyer, I'm also a global warming denier. But yeah, so what? It does not impact today's debate. Today's debate is I am representing a client who claims Greta Thunberg is an international terrorist. That's it. That's the topic. It doesn't matter what I believe as the lawyer representing today's opinion, today's proposition. That's why it doesn't make any sense to discuss my political aspirations, anything personal about me. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just a lawyer making the case. It's just about the case. It's not about the lawyer. That's why ad hominem is it's a logical fallacy.
Well, before the jury of the court, it seems that everything you've tried to lay out that Greta Thunberg is a terrorist seems to have failed.
Well, okay, so we can go back to continuing discussing Greta Thunberg and not me and her. Look, fine. I mean, look, the point is she is trying to terrorize, and I think she succeeded in terrorizing the politicians she spoke to, and that's why she's a terrorist. And I think there is where we have seen some violence coming out of green activists, people who have been influenced by Greta and her cohort. It's not only her. I mean, she's one of the leaders of this movement. So we have begun to see some terrorism.
May I ask you specifically about that terrorism?
Sure.
Could you do you have an example? Could you provide one?
I mean, we've seen trains stopped and museums defaced, and right, we have seen physical activists or physical demonstrations, not just people speaking, but people doing things.
Mhm.
I mean, you haven't seen like I don't know if we've seen a stabbing or a shooting or an actual explicit murder by a global warming believer. I don't know if we've seen that. I don't think we've seen that directly, but we have seen some terrorism which is physical, but did not directly end in anyone's death. But when you stop,
I see what you're saying.
when you stop traffic, you're stopping an ambulance. You're
Okay.
stopping people on the way to the hospital having a heart attack, right? No
Well,
one.
has that happened?
We. How can you know? How can you know? I mean, a
I
person.
mean, it would probably be pretty big news if
How would
like
you? How
Greta
would you
Thunberg's
know?
Green Army stopped. Because isn't all of the media against anything having to do with like global warming or anything like that? Like, well, maybe that's a bridge. Maybe that's a step
No,
too far to
I
take
don't
at this
think so.
moment. But
But
wouldn't something like that be all over the news? That seems like it would be
how?
pretty major, and
How would we
especially
know? How would
especially
you
if
know?
these, and especially as you say, all of these
How would you
quote
know?
unquote terrorist actions, or what I think are just democratic protests, would be because of Greta Thunberg. It seems that she would have to account for them if that did happen.
Okay,
Like
look, it's
it seems that you just have a lot of what ifs and maybes and could be's and should be's, but not a lot of has happens.
okay. I mean, no, some has happened, and I mean, we have seen protests. We have seen people
Correct.
blocking traffic, people doing things that you could visualize in your mind how this can end up killing someone or hurting someone. Certainly, if you have someone driving to the hospital in an emergency, or or a doctor that has
I already agree with you that that could be that could
yeah.
be definitely
So
a dangerous
okay,
situation.
I mean,
But that hasn't happened
we
that we're
don't
aware
know
of, right?
that we're aware. Yeah, that I remember offhand. No, it didn't happen.
Okay. I mean, I would hope that if you had like, if these were like your bullet points, that you would have like backing reasons for it is all.
It could easily happen, right? If you block traffic, like a doctor, a nurse,
Yeah, and I
someone.
could easily have a piano land on my head, but like, sure, but it's just
Look, but
not gonna happen,
if you
right?
block traffic
Or
and
at least it hasn't happened, right?
look, if you block traffic, like anything you do, right, the butterfly effect, anything you do can have incredible effects on the other side of
It
the
can,
universe.
but I
Yes,
think
but
it can, but we have to, there's like
so
percentages, right?
right,
That's when like like me
yes,
clapping my hands isn't
yes,
gonna kill my neighbor, right?
right,
Even
yeah,
though there's a chance of it happening, right? There's a
right.
chance of it happening.
But it could.
You just said the butterfly
Okay,
effect,
fine.
correct?
Look, okay. That's my answer. I understand it's not. Of course, a Bin Laden type of attack would be much more visual, much more effective.
I'm just saying any type of attack,
Yeah,
because you
I
haven't been
understand.
able to show one.
No, and look, when you say you mean murder, you don't mean attack. Because when they attack the public transportation system, it's an attack on the public transportation. They block the train. They blocked the entire train one day in I don't remember where, Britain or somewhere. The entire train, the entire train station for a couple of hours. I mean,
Mhm.
that could easily end up. I mean, you could do a calculation that every $1 million is a person's life. That's basically how human life.
No,
I don't know how you would ever begin to calculate that. That
Oh,
seems a bit strange
if
to
I
me.
need to, because like the equipment, let's for example, the equipment to save a person's life for a hospital is about, let's say it's around $1 million,
no.
or a person.
That's only if the money would go towards that. Otherwise, that's bullshit.
No, there is a cost. The economists, they have a way to measure the cost of a human. I mean,
Well,
basically,
then maybe
No,
you should bring out that measurement instead of like again, these are your arguments. You should have this all prepared before you come out trying to debate. Like, I don't know
you're
what you're
talking.
doing here, Chief.
You're talking about insurance. Yes, insurance puts dollar values on human lives, but like you obviously don't understand how that works.
Well, please stop with
I mean,
the.
look, guys. If we look it up, we see that there's data on deaths, people dying because of climate protests. I guess all he would have to do is find if these stories somehow or spuriously like linked to the climate issue that Greta is talking about, right? It could be other, but yeah, we have like if you just look it up, like right now, you're gonna find like people are dying because of climate protests.
What do you mean? Are you serious or are you joking?
No, yeah, people die because of climate protests,
What?
and they blame the protesters. They blame the protesters. But for you, you would have to look through those stories and find which ones might.
Could you link one?
Huh?
Well, Carefree, you're doing the homework for them. They haven't done even like the first they haven't dipped their toe into the pool of doing any of like the legwork for this. Like I understand that you want to like help and make this like a good conversation, but
I would help.
They're the one.
No, I'm just butting up against the idea that like we don't have people that have directly died because of climate protests that aren't the. But in all fairness, the climate protesters also do die like from time to time. So yeah, but I'm not going to do any work for him. The work that has to be done is that he would have to go through those like deaths and find out if any of them are like directly or spuriously related to what he's trying to say that they might be related to.
Anyway, thank you.
And there probably is stories, about this stuff that just they end up on the news like at the very like tail end or something, right? In LA, I think that happened in LA when people ran onto the freeway and stopped the freeway for like hours. Or yeah, like I don't think that what he's saying.
Well,
is
Carefree, no, I understand, and I wasn't ever denying that these stories Carefree, I was never denying that these stories happened, but exactly what you were saying, like if these stories, in light of there being these stories, he would have to do the legwork of finding the connection to Greta Thunberg, which again, he hasn't even done the first part of his quote unquote homework. So I'm not sure why I should have gone any further with it. Do you know what I mean? This is getting meta at this point.
Doesn't it count as like empirics for you, Mr. Slave, which you reject anyways?
No, I don't reject empirics. I'm just a skeptic. I'm an ultimate skeptic. I never say 100% or 0% of anything probability wise. So I don't have.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that would say that.
Surely there's not just like all things that you're skeptical of. Like, what are you certain of?
Nothing.
No, I don't mean like having deep knowledge that like
No, but
you're
that's
not a brain. I just mean like, do you think that like
Nothing.
do you think that you perceive that the
1
sunlight?
1 + 1 = 2 is not absolutely true.
Do you think that you perceive the sun rising every day?
Not with 100% certainty. I cannot trust my memory. Actually, it's a famous physics theory.
What about today? What about when it's not memory? What about in the current
No,
moment?
there is
when
a
you just-
theory that says that there is a
Do you know
non-zero
that-
probability.
Do you know that you're talking on? Do you perceive yourself talking on Discord right now?
Yes, I perceive, but you're talking about 100% probability, right?
Are you 100% certain that you perceive
No.
yourself talking on Discord right now?
No.
You're just
I rest my
appealing to
case.
solipsism.
I rest my case. I don't know.
Oh, so he's just like an extreme universal skeptic then.
Yeah.
He's a radical
It's just such a lazy way of going about like.
Okay, but we're completely.
Because it works in like
So
it works
are we
in
done with
online
the first
debates, but
debate?
it doesn't.
Are we done with the first
No,
debate?
no. I'm saying that the philosophical notion of ultimate skepticism is something that can help you.
Can we just conclude?
Technically,
Can we conclude the first debate?
Wait, slave.
I'm
Hold
only
on,
here for
dude.
10 more
Hold on.
minutes. I gotta go.
Wait, slave, dude. I'm saying that there's.
I presented evidence, and okay.
Slave.
No, you didn't.
Slave.
You haven't
Fine. So
presented any
we just need
evidence.
to make the link. You want
Okay,
the link?
slave. So the problem I have.
Is there any vegans I can speak to in the cow call?
No, there's no vegans here. So
I'll
the problem I
speak to
have
you.
with
I can speak to you in the cow call.
with your
Yes.
dude, just go to the
Alright,
cow. Jesus.
Shut the fuck up, dumbass.
Fucking retard. All right. Yeah, so the problem I have with this approach that you're taking is that like it doesn't do anything to like further truth or ideals or like to further the pursuit of truth. Or even grant that truth can be a thing, right? It's just this outdated, like 15th century notion of like skepticism that like most philosophers don't even subscribe to.
Okay, can we
anymore,
finish the
you know?
first debate?
But what did I say though just now?
Wait, why do you refuse to finish the first debate? Why do you want to move away from the first debate? It's literally a red herring.
But wait, I'm criticizing your universal skepticism. That's
It
what I'm
has nothing
criticizing.
to do with this debate. I'm not being
It has everything, because if you're saying that the purpose of debate is to convince the other person, yet no amount of evidence will ever convince you that the sun rose in the morning because you can't rely on your
That's
memory.
not true.
Then you
That's
can't
not my
ever be
opinion.
convinced of anything.
Okay, come on, stop. You don't want to continue the first debate. I'm going to accuse you of red herringing, and that's the I'm going to
No, this is directly related
Look,
to any debate we
that's
could ever
literally a
talk
red
about.
herring.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
I'm not
is.
deflecting into another topic. I'm saying that the way that you approach truth is fundamentally incompatible
nothing to
with the
do-
concept.
nothing
Oh,
to
stop,
do-
stop, slave, stop. The way that you approach truth
Nothing to
is
do.
fundamentally
Red herring.
incompatible.
I have a few words to
Different
say.
topic.
No, Irish, shut
Wait,
up,
Irish.
dude. You hear me talking. Thank you. Okay. So, slave, the way that you approach truth is fundamentally incompatible with the concept of
herring.
debate,
You're
because
committing a logical
no amount of
fallacy.
evidence will ever convince you of anything to be true if I were to apply this.
Well, right now you're the one who's the skeptic, right? I'm the one who's
No,
being
I'm
the
not.
Right, you're skeptic of Greta's relevance to the deaths that are mentioned in the article that I brought up.
But I'm not a skeptic in that no amount of evidence will ever convince
I
me,
am.
because I
But
can't
right
actually
now,
trust
I am
my
an
perceptions.
anti-skeptic. Right now,
Wait, slave. Okay, so being a skeptic, being skeptical of a certain fact doesn't make me a skeptic. Okay, it just makes me skeptical of that certain fact.
But
Being
right
a
now, I'm not a
skeptic. Hold on, stop. Being a skeptic
I'm not a skeptic.
means that
You're
you are a skeptic.
complete red
You are a
herring.
skeptic. You just
Red
said,
herring
wait, slave. You
and
just
ad
right, slave.
hominem.
You
Ad
just said,
hominem, red herring.
slave.
Stop the
It's not
logical
an ad hom. I'm
fallacies.
not saying you're wrong because you're stupid. That's not. You don't even know what an ad hom is.
You're
Slave.
referencing.
You're saying you just said.
interlocutor.
Okay, slave. You just said 2 minutes ago that you can't trust that the sun rose in the morning because you don't trust your memories.
No, I did not.
Now
say
I
that.
can't. Yes, you did.
I said
Everyone
that
in here heard you
it
say
doesn't
that.
matter. It's a different topic.
No,
I
everyone in
entertained-
here heard him say that,
it's
right?
It's nothing to
Yes,
do.
everyone did.
Yes, it's
Okay,
nothing
great.
to do
So
with
everyone
today's
heard you
discussion.
say
Nothing to
hold
do.
on. Yeah, but Neon, the correct statement there is no way. Would be, if you were just trying to be really like honest about it, you would say, I am not aware of any way that I can convince you of anything, right? There may be a way that he could be convinced. You are just not aware of one. And you could also appeal to everybody else in the room and say, neither I nor anybody here is aware of any, but you couldn't say there is no way to convince them.
Sure. So, slave, what is a way to convince you of the things that we believe?
Okay, right now we're discussing. I'm proposing that Greta Thunberg is an international terrorist. That I'm not being. I don't have skepticism about this. You are the one who's skeptical about this. Let's continue reviewing the evidence.
Wait, no. Could you answer the question though in relation to the proposal? Because I understand you only have 6 minutes left.
Yeah,
what would it take? What would it take to move
No.
the needle for you
I
from
don't
Greta Thunberg
cooperate.
Greta? How what would it take to move the needle from Greta Thunberg being a terrorist to maybe, if that being a 10, at least down to like a 9.9? Like, what would be the way to do that?
I mean, we need to review the evidence. It's just a proposition, as you said. I didn't do my homework. This is actually the first time that I'm presenting this topic. So yeah, thanks for helping me.
Yeah, but you understand that people are wary of it, and that you could pull at any moment. You could pull a fallacy. You could pull a big Mott and Bailey and be shown that something is incorrect, and then just say that your position was something else, which they can do as well, right? Like, that's what I would wonder too. No, I mean, I would wonder that from both sides, right? I would wonder that about your position. I would wonder that about their arguments as well, which is, okay, well, how many, if Mr. Slave were to be able to provide the proof that meets your burden of proof as to this being, well, then are you then going to accept it and say, okay, she is a terrorist? Or are then you going to say, well, it's just not enough to be terrorism? Then I would say, well, that's a Mott and Bailey. Yeah, then that's not really your position. You don't have a problem with there being anybody dying. You might just have a problem with the amount of people. Or some people might be really honest and say, people die every day and they die for all these fucked up causes. If people start dying because of us trying to save the world for everybody, I don't really have a problem with that. I don't know. People could say different things there, right? But you could do the same thing as well. You could do the same thing as well, Mr. Slade. That's the thing, is that you're gonna die by your own. You know, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, you could use it against them, but it can be used against you. And I think that you're not acknowledging that, like, you're in this similar precarious position, right?
And this is nothing to
Yeah,
do with.
because like
Okay. Look,
because like if I were to say
no.
if I were to say like Greta Thunberg,
no.
you said earlier
You're
that Greta
hogging the
Thunberg
mic.
inspires terror.
Okay, you're silencing me. You're not letting me speak.
He only has 3 minutes. Yeah, sorry, Neon. He only has 3 minutes.
Allahu Akbar.
Anyway, so look, everything you're saying that I might do, it's completely meaningless. I mean, you have to judge me by my actions in this debate. If you have a problem, if you think I committed a logical fallacy in this debate, you can, point to it, and we can discuss it. For now, you didn't point to me committing any logical fallacy, so I'll completely ignore everything you said. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Anyway,
Well, it would be a form of special pleading, right? Because if you're saying that Greta Thunberg is inspiring terror in the hearts of politicians by saying we will be watching you, well, I could say that you're inspiring terror in the hearts of scientists when you call global warming a hoax, and that by your logic would make you an international terrorist. But I don't think you would bite that bullet.
we can have a debate about that. That's an interesting. I maybe I might, by the same metric, define myself as a terrorist just as much.
I don't debate terrorists.
Well, it would be a different day that we would have that discussion. If you would not debate me, then you would concede, and I would win immediately. So it's totally up to you. Anyway, we have 2 more minutes. Let me.
Oh, come
try-
on, dude! Like, you.
It's not good.
Yeah, but look, man, you're not gonna get away with that stuff. You were here yesterday telling us that you do not use words like win or lose a debate. It's on your stream. We can all go to that and we can all clip it and play it back for you, that you literally told us this last night. And you just used the words about automatically winning a debate, which is what you told us last night that you don't do.
I honestly don't want to win debates. I want to be wrong. I want to learn something. I didn't.
No. That's
Bullshit.
not what I said. That's not what I said. I didn't say that you want to win them. I said that last night you told us that you do not use those words in debate. You do not joke with people. You don't call them names, and you don't declare victories or.
I retract my comment about.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'd be willing to have that debate. Just next time, come with like a coherent definition of international terrorist.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Slave. I think you got about a minute here. Thanks for debating.
Wait, let me use up my minute. Hey, I'm looking up.
Nope, it's 12. It's done. You're done. It's 12. You gotta go. You're done.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anyway, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. It was actually it was very entertaining, and I learned a lot. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Bye bye. Wait, did they silence me before I left? So there's no one watching this stream on YouTube's. Well, that's counterproductive. 0 people showed up because I didn't post it ahead of time, I guess. Worst day of my life. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, it was a good debate. Yeah, I introduced my new. Oh, uncomfortable. We eat live. No, it's already over. You're coming now. You want to hop on? We can have a discussion. Come on. Why don't you hop on? Ugh, I can't. Can I scroll this down? Hey, why don't you join me and let's talk? I find this very boring. I'm going to end the stream if you don't join me now. Yeah. So that's what I just told him. He should know better. Let's see what he says. I'm actually traveling right now and viewing from mobile. Oh, you are a legend. Thank you. It was actually a good debate. I mean, they tried every trick in the book. They tried logical fallacies. They tried ad hominem. They tried red herring. What else did I think those are, and then another ad hominem. But the main thing is I kept my eyes on the ball, and I made good headway. I mean, it's a new topic that I'm playing with. That Greta Thunberg is an international terrorist. Yeah, I'm going to kill myself now. Absolutely. It's midnight. It's time to die. So you don't want to join. I see there's two people live. It's Friday night. It's time to die. It's time to kill myself. All right, what? Benayach, hello slave. Have you joined the modern day debate Discord server? That's a good point. Modern day debate. Let's go to the modern day debate. Modern day debate. Let's see if I can find it. Day. Barely slept last night. No, I can't find the server. Modern day debate. How do you find servers? How do you do that? How do you find the servers? Mr. Slave finds face rating omegle things utterly boring. Wait, you don't? I'd rather kill myself than have to rate faces. Right? What do you think about this face? And then they're going to probably show him Alex. The last face I want to see in the universe is Alex. Yeah, let me see Alex, or what's his name? Looks for L, or Greg, or Ashley and Sarah. Yeah, no thanks. You can have them all. Enjoy them. Enjoy. Anyway, so I cannot find the modern day debate server on the Discord. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? I'm clicking explore public servers. I probably need an invite in order to join modern day debate, or maybe that's the wrong name. They have an invite in their latest live stream description if interested. Oh, let me go in that case. Share this tab. Let's go to modern day debates. Modern day debates. Let's go to about. There's no about. Working on. I don't see a link. Oh, Spotify, Patreon, Apple. No, there's no link to Discord. I will not advertise your mobile. My name is Jamie. We're working on growing channels. Maybe you're saying go to the latest video. It's 31 seconds long. Let's see. I don't care. So you're saying that their Discord would be here, crowdfunded. Let me look for the word no, Discord doesn't show up on this page. There's no Discord. So there you go. There's nothing. It's in the live stream description, not about. In the live stream description, not about. Okay, let's go to a live stream. Okay, description. Oh, Here it is, our new Discord. They have a new Discord. Let me click it. 1 second. Accept invite. Opening Discord. Continue to Discord. And share this tab. All right, let's go through the process. Willkommen. I don't know what to do now. Rules and roles. I don't know. Announcements. Nothing. Support. Giveaway. Challenge. Instructions. Wait, I'm mentioned? Willkommen. Oh, let's go to the end. Wait. Let's go to the end. Oh, welcome, Mr. Slave. Please head over to Rules and Roles and accept. Accept what? I never read what it says. And accept. Did they send me something? And accept the rules by clicking the check mark, which will give you a member role. Once done, it will unlock all the member channels for you to participate. You then pick roles and customize. All right, let's hope that this time we'll figure it out. So hit the check mark on what? Maybe on the first one? Where's the check mark? Oh, no. Where's the check mark? Oh, this? This? Oh, no. This. All right. React below to accept the above rules. By clicking the check, you will be assigned the member role. So, have I been assigned a member role? Nobody knows. Let's try to go to the general chat. Hi. Let's try to paste my debate topics. My amazing debate topics. Absolutely amazing. Anyone who wants to debate? Yeah. Maybe there's people. Yeah, but there's no one. Oh, there are. Oh, Flat Earth. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Let's go to Flat Earth.
Like album cover?
What? The Prodigy album? Hold on. Let me look up Prodigy album cover.
I at least know the band reference, but I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the album cover.
Hey,
Where
everyone.
they have all these crabs with their little claws up in the air, kind of like wave. It's hilarious.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
look it
This is
up.
actually an awesome album. Hold on. I'm screenshotting and sending it in the chat.
Hey,
This is a great album cover. What the hell?
Hey, let me interrupt you guys for a second. Does anybody want to debate something? I listed a list of topics.
What?
Where?
Where'd you list them?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I'm a dummy dum-dum. I'm a
All right,
dummy
debate number
dum-dum.
one. You did
Here
not
you
list
go.
those topics.
I did not
Hold on,
list.
your
I
name is Mr.
lied.
Steve?
I committed a fallacy. A phallicus.
Mr. Slave, can I ask who this girl is on your webpage? Is this somebody you know, or is
No, I don't know anyone. I'm all alone. I'm sad and lonely. I don't know anyone.
Is your name actually Mr. Slave?
No, my name is actually Mr. something else.
No, I
God damn.
can't see it, but
Yeah, my name
This
is.
is interesting stuff. Wait a second. Global warming is unscientific?
Yes. You want to debate that?
I would love
what would it
to
be
hear
if
your
it's
take
not
on that.
scientific?
Wait.
I'm kind of just chilling right now talking with everybody, but I would love to hear your take on global warming being unscientific.
Okay. Wait, you want to hear it right now?
Like saying cow farts.
Yeah, shoot.
Well,
Go for it.
I mean, I would ask you, like, what's the evidence?
Okay.
Your claim.
So I would say, well, no, okay. In his defense, I think that the people that say that global warming exists are making a claim that the Earth is getting hotter. So I think that we probably burden of evidence probably falls on our burden of proof falls on us.
Right. But how do
Well,
you
no,
know?
because he's making the positive claim that it's unscientific. Okay, so if it's not scientific, what would it be?
No, I think the to be a little more clear, I think if you're making the claim that it's not scientific, I think you probably need to be the one to say what about it isn't scientific. Like, what data are you discussing that isn't scientific?
Okay.
Like,
So, like, have you met
that's probably going to have
data,
the
or
more
do you
productive
disagree with it?
conversation.
Sure. I mean, I could try that. I mean, so you could claim that there's no such thing as unscientific. There's only a spectrum of more or less scientific, because any claim you make that the earth is flat, well, that's a scientific claim. That God created the universe, that's a scientific claim. That God
How?
exists, that
Wait, how is that a
No.
scientific claim? Define a scientific claim.
it's this like Charles Popper, Karl Popper. He said it has to be disprovable or something. If it's disprovable, right? He has like a bunch of definitions. What makes up a scientific theory? It
But how
needs
would you define a
falsify if it's
scientific claim?
falsifiable.
So a
Yeah.
scientific
So,
claim
but
is any falsifiable claim.
Excuse me.
oh my god. Okay, so
Claiming that the Earth
but
is
what?
flat. Wait, here. Claiming that the Earth is flat, right? Of course, it's falsifiable because we, as the believers, that the Earth is not flat. I don't know what you are, but like I belong to the cult that believes that the Earth is not flat. So we have evidence to falsify that the Earth is flat. Hence, the flat Earth theory is a scientific theory. It's falsifiable.
All right.
The same
Okay.
goes for
Okay, so
God.
what about? Okay, but what about global warming is a scientific evidence that it's not?
No, so as I said, any claim that is coherent, that is falsifiable is what do you call it? Is scientific.
So do you believe that there is something unfalsifiable or non-coherent about the theory of climate change?
No, no,
I'm going
no,
to call it.
no, no. So here, but okay, so okay.
Okay.
So no, so it's a theory. It's a scientific theory, but it's not a good scientific explanation. It's not the correct scientific explanation. Like explaining the current state of the climate as global warming is not the best scientific explanation. Therefore, it is the wrong scientific explanation, right?
So why would you say that?
Because when you
Wait, so
have
did you just
mul-
falsify your own first position?
no. Your audio, by the way, is terrible. You're like speaking from Mars.
No.
Yeah, I can barely. I had to guess
He's
what you just
driving. He's
said.
driving right now.
I'm sorry that you have to drive. Anyway, so what was I saying?
You were saying
Yes.
that
Yeah.
scientific or bad it's bad science.
No, I wouldn't say it's
Well,
bad.
he
I'm
said
just
it's not a science. It's not scientific, right? And that's
Right.
kind of the issue. So,
Yeah. So
on one hand, he's
let
saying
me-
it's not scientific,
let me-
but if there's falsifiability to it, then it's scientific.
no, let me
So we can talk about whether or not there's falsifiability to global
Let me-
warming.
Okay, that I already finished that, so I agreed. No, so Karl Popper said that's what constitutes a scientific theory. So you can have multiple scientific theories to explain a certain phenomenon. So, like for example, so you can have, in reference to our discussion, you can have the current climate, the state of the climate of the planet, and you can have multiple theories to explain the current data that we have. One of the competing theories to explain the current data would be we are experiencing a phenomenon called global warming. It's a scientific theory. It's a viable scientific theory, and that is one of the competing explanations, one of the competing theories to explain the data. But
What is a theory?
Excuse me?
Because I think it might be.
Let's
I don't think. Well, I don't think we're. I think we're going to talk past each other. What is a scientific theory, and what is it composed of?
Right, so
Right.
I belong to the cult that follows the definition of Karl Popper. I once took a course in philosophy of science. I barely remember, but what I do remember is basically how Karl Popper defined scientific theory. So he said it basically has to be falsifiable. I don't remember what the other conditions are, if there are any.
Yeah. So a scientific theory is the highest stature at which a hypothesis could reach. Right. It's got the evidence, the facts, the data, everything to support it.
Okay.
Well, hang on.
But-
What I'm confused about is if you don't remember what else is necessary here, why don't you just tell us what you think it is? Like define it as you use it.
Wait, what? No, what? Okay, so when I say global warming is unscientific, I'm saying that there are competing theories to explain or hypotheses, scientific hypotheses or theories or explanations or models to explain the data that we are observing of the current climate of the planet. One of them is that the Earth is warming, and we should all go into a hysteria because it's the end of the world or something like that. I'm not trying to be derogatory towards that theory. I'm just saying that's okay. That is the theory more or less. A competing theory that I would claim is more scientific and hence scientific, and that makes the global warming theory unscientific because okay, so if you have multiple competing theories and one of them is better than the others, then it is
No. What is a
Mhm.
theory? Because it's not going to be multiple competing theories. It's going to be multiple competing hypotheses.
fine.
So that's where I want the clarification. So there is a difference between a hypothesis and a theory, right?
I'm not so sure that there is, but fine. I mean,
Yeah, there definitely
There
is.
is most absolutely a difference between the two.
maybe
So can we accept that?
maybe in terms of amount of data, amount of evidence, maybe
Yeah, so
more.
the whole idea is we start off with a hypothesis, which is a falsifiable assumption, right? So I make a falsifiable claim. Basically, I say something like, the Earth is round. This is a falsifiable claim.
Okay.
This is a hypothesis.
Okay.
Next, I back this up with evidence, and I get it to the highest level of evidence that I possibly can. We have now generated a scientific theory. The Earth is round. We have evidence to back it up. We have models that explain that behavior.
Are you saying that hypothesis cannot have evidence? That once I have evidence, it becomes a theory?
No, I'm saying
so
that
once you have sufficient enough evidence to support your hypothesis, right, you're going to have a buildup of facts, evidence, data. It'll be able to make novel, testable predictions. Then it becomes a theory.
So I would
And it
say
is
right, but
very fucking difficult to falsify a theory.
okay, but
It's not impossible. It's just very difficult.
okay. All I'm saying is that there is no essential difference between a hypothesis and a theory. They are of the
there's
same.
a huge essential difference.
Let me just
They're
finish.
they're way
Let me finish.
Let's
But you're
just let
not
him get
letting
it out first.
Yeah,
Let him get like an
letting
opening
you
statement or
defend
something. Then we can
No.
do some responses. But
Yeah.
I just
my
want to
bad.
actually have him get his idea out there first.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're getting bogged down with. But fine, I'll entertain the bogging down. So I don't think I don't from what you said, which is what I've previously thought. There's no essential difference between a hypothesis and a theory. It's more of a spectrum. Like a hypothesis has less evidence and so on, and a theory has more evidence and so on. It's a stronger hypothesis as it aged well. So we just changed its name because it moved on the scale from left more to right, more towards 100%. It was closer to 0% as a hypothesis. Now it's closer to 100, so it's a theory. But it's of the same type. It's on the same scale, using the same metrics.
So what?
Excuse me.
So what evidence do we have then to support global warming? Not being scientific.
No, all I have to say, well, okay, so if I have two competing theories, for example, with the flat Earth, so there's two theories to explain our. Wait, let me finish. There's two competing.
Flat Earth. I
Who
want
the
the
character
global
is
warming.
with these three
Wait, let me
things.
finish.
Give me the two competing theories. Give the two competing
Oh,
theories
we
for the
have
global warming,
Common
not
and
flat Earth.
Conquer.
Wait,
Hey,
somebody's
Jamaneko, you're hot micing.
Vehicle.
Jamaneko, you're hot micing.
I don't hear anything. Interesting.
Anyway,
Dominico, you're hot micing still.
maybe you can mute him. Do you have the power to mute?
Elusive does, I think. I don't.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. He's good. He's good now.
All right.
Go ahead.
So
That's because I did
Yeah,
mute him.
okay.
Yeah, if you can give the two theories for global warming instead of flat Earth, I think that'll be much more productive
No,
to the
but
topic.
no, this is actually rather important because so when I say what do I mean by unscientific? Because there's right, as long as your statement makes logical sense, it's coherent, and it's falsifiable, then it's scientific. So
Right.
so flat Earth.
So
Flat Earth is scientific. It's a scientific theory, but we consider
Sure.
it to be. But we consider it to be unscientific, not as a competing theory, but as the ultimate theory, because it is not
no,
the.
we would
Wait, let me have my have let me
failed
have let me have my day in court,
Yeah,
please.
just let him talk, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
man. Thank you so much. So it's just that the flat Earth is a scientific theory, but it is unscientific because there is a much better theory in terms of, right? There's a much better theory, which is the ball Earth. Earth is a ball, not flat. So that's why we consider the flat Earth to be an unscientific. It's unscientific. It is a scientific theory, but it's unscientific. To come and say that it is the scientific. It is scientific. No, it's not. There is a better scientific theory. There's a better theory. Hence, the not better one, the worse one. That's why we consider flat Earth to be unscientific. I would say that's my opinion, unless you claim.
Okay. So
So all I need.
problems there.
So all I need
One,
to show. Oh, there's a problem. Okay, go on.
yeah. So again, this is going to bring back, now two problems. One, it's not a theory because there's zero evidence to support it. Zero. Absolutely fuck all in terms of anything to support it. It doesn't make predictions. It has no evidence. It has zero explanatory power for any of the
No,
observations
that's
that we make.
absolutely
It's
incorrect.
not a.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely true. We've debated flat earthers more than enough to understand
No, but there is evidence. Of course,
this.
there's
Yeah. Okay.
evidence
So
for flat Earth.
no, there is. That's the problem. No, there is.
What do you mean? Of
There's
course there
bad
is.
there's bad no, there isn't. There's bad arguments for it, but there's no actual evidence.
I'll give you.
There's misunderstandings of science.
Here.
That's right.
There's
I'll
no
show you.
evidence.
Now,
I'll
to
show
address
you.
the second portion of this,
Wait, wait. What's the
I
point?
really want to hear. I really want to hear the competing theories for global warming. What are those?
All right. So somebody's touching their mic. Those who are touching your mic, please stop touching your mic. So the competing theories for the explanation of the data. So one theory says that the Earth obviously is warming. That's the quote popular one. At least it's popular, in the on the street, I would say. Maybe not even there. I don't know where it is. It's popular amongst certain cults. I guess.
But what's the evidence of it? What I'm asking.
No, I'm saying this is.
When I say what's the theory, I want the evidence to support the theory.
You mean that the global is warming? That the globe is warming?
Yeah, you said the two competing theories, right? So when someone says, "What is the theory?" But effectively, what they're saying is, "What is the evidence?" Like, the theory is global warming. Okay, cool. The Earth is warming. What's the evidence to support this?
The evidence to support that the Earth is warming, I guess they would say there's rise in temperature, and they would correlate it with what they would say is a rise in CO2, and they would say maybe the rise in unstable weather, maybe they would say the rise in the hurricanes, maybe even earthquakes, maybe even I don't know what. I'm serious about the earthquakes. I honestly don't know where they stop, but
Okay, no, that's fine. So on one hand, we have a hypothesis with evidence to report to say that there is warming. What is the competing?
My God, these Muslims are retarded. How many Muslim trolls do we have?
Holy crap! What the hell?
Yo, Mario.
I'm
Go find some
infuriated.
Goombas, bro. Go find some
I'm in-
Goombas, bro.
They are so retarded. Oh my gosh.
Okay, Mario, one more. Mario, shut up. Inquisitor, hold on. Mario, one more use of that word and you get a warning. Good?
I'm going to be here only for 4 more minutes because I already did my 11 to 12 debate. This is just a bonus for Friday night.
I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have a tough time just proving all of science in 4 to 5 minutes. It's gonna be rough.
4 minutes. Only
Okay,
4 minutes.
Yeah. So 4
Okay,
minutes.
4
Okay,
minutes,
so
make it count.
we have a hypothesis that says, okay, global warming is happening, but you also there's a competing hypothesis. What is it?
So Freeman Dyson, he called global warming. Are you familiar with Freeman Dyson?
No, give the theory.
Right. So he
What a guy said.
so he said that his theory when asked, well, he said, I mean, ultimately that it's basically a religion. His theory is that it's a religion. And I tend to agree. It has all the hallmarks of what we consider a religion. Yeah. So
How does it explain the data?
On one hand, global warming is happening. On the other hand, it's just a religious belief. So, i.e., a conspiracy.
I wouldn't call religions a conspiracy because a lot of the people belonging to religions believe in the religion, so it's difficult to call it a conspiracy. So I would just call it a religion.
I'm so fucking
let's cut to the chase. Okay, so there's data, right? And then there is a theory that kind of explains the data. And now there's supposedly a different theory, but saying, oh, it's a religion doesn't explain the data at all. So what's the theory that explains the data?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about like competing theories, like we're talking about which one explains data better. So it sounds like you're just you don't actually have a competing theory. You're just saying the first one's wrong if your answer is it's a religion.
No, I am observing a natural phenomenon. We are gathering data. The data is that scientists are, or that, the people, I mean, you can observe a global warming hysteria. That is the phenomenon that I'm observing.
A what?
A global warming hysteria.
Hysteria.
Hysteria?
Right,
Not
okay,
hysteria?
but there's a difference between right. So there's a difference between people going hysterical about the Earth warming up and the evidence to actually support that the Earth is warming up. You understand that, right?
Right, but that's like saying there's a
so what's
difference.
that data?
Wait, that's like saying there's a difference between people believing in God and the fact that there is a God. Right. I mean, a lot of people believe in God. That has basically nothing to do with there being a God. So a lot of people
That's right.
believe.
So there's a lot of people. Hang on.
Let me
So there's a lot of
finish.
people going crazy.
No.
Well, no, because I'm about to quote this for you. There's a lot of people going crazy about global warming happening, but what is the evidence that global warming is indeed happening?
No, I'm saying I'm showing the similarity to religion. So the same way with global warming, I'm observing a natural phenomenon of a mass hysteria, like an epidemic. It's like a mind virus epidemic. That's what I'm viewing. That is always my data, right? Even when I agree. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish, please. So, I mean, I am a scientist. All I can do is observe, right? When I observe the data, that part of the data is the hysteria. That's part of the data, and
No, it is.
It's not.
It just, in his defense, it would be easier to let you finish if you said anything of substance.
Yeah. hire you right now by any chance?
Wait, what's your name? You're Jax. Jax said it would be in my defense if I would say something of substance.
No, I think that the contention here seems to be that, like, if you're talking about like the hysteria around global warming, you're not talking about the truth matter of global warming. You're talking about public perception of global warming. So it's going to be like a different thing.
But you cannot
Very
exclude the scientists presenting the evidence and and the theories.
Okay, but what is the evidence? Is what we're asking. Like, we're asking for the data of the thing. People are being hysterical. Okay, are they rational in their hysteria? Is there evidence to support that global warming is happening? This is what we're after. The actual truth of the matter, not how crazy people react.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when I observe a phenomenon, I take the entire. I have to take the entire complex system into account. I cannot separate unless you like if you're talking about, I don't know, like gravity, like dropping a hammer and measuring the acceleration. Yeah, I can measure it myself, and then maybe I never measured it. I just read it from a book. I would like, what could anyone have any reason to believe it's a different number than what the textbook says? But when it comes
Okay,
to
so if you have global,
wait, let me
you can measure it.
finish.
But you're not saying anything. That's the problem. I'm not going to let you finish because you're rambling on about incoherencies.
I
This is ridiculous.
must do a finish.
But you're not saying anything.
Anyway, I gotta go. We should
Okay.
continue this a different day, a different time. Look, thank you for
There's a Chad
entertaining me.
that don't say anything but talk for like 10 minutes and then say I have to go. He's so based.
Yeah.
I am
Like,
number one at saying
At saying a lot of nothing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, none of that meant anything because you didn't have any evidence supporting any of your claims.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person, I know.
Gabby, I feel like it was even more basic than that because it was like if I was talking to a random text generator. Like he was saying stuff that didn't make any sense, and then he was incapable of engaging with anybody else's responses. So
No, ChatGPT would do pretty well there, actually.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Actually, ChatGPT would be a much better debate, I think.
I know. Anyway, guys, thank you. I do this every morning and every night, so I'll be here tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. If you guys, Eastern
11
Standard.
a.m. What time?
It was
zone?
Right,
Oh, okay.
New York City. I live in the New York City. So,
Okay.
where do you live?
It was fun. Have a good day.
Yeah.
have a
thank
great
you.
night. Have a great night, Mr.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the second half of that name, but have a great night, man.
Thank you, guys.
was
Bye
We're glad we got to see you.
bye. Well, that was kind of eventful. I did enjoy that a little bit. Oh, the guy bro. It's the guy bro. The Earth is a simulation. Science is dogma. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Anyway, guys, it's been an hour and a half. I think it's good enough. I think we did our job. I'm gonna go kill myself now. And I hope you have a great night. I hope to see you tomorrow morning or something. Yeah, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Why not? Let's hope we see each other. All right, guys. Have a great night. And bye bye.